When we talk about sustainability, well, there's a lot of definition which has already been shared. All of us will agree that sustainability is all about life. It's about existence, isn't it? So when we talk about life and existence, we live in a world today where millions and millions and millions of books have been written on sustainability. There are hundreds of lectures delivered already. There are tons and tons of blogs and artifacts which are available which talks about this. But we still deliberate and discuss how we find sustainability in a world today. Now, if sustainability is all about life, ladies and gentlemen, all of us want life, isn't it? We want life. We want a very fulfilling and meaningful life. We want existence. Socrates said something very interesting. He said, an unexamined life is not worth living. We want to live life, but if you have not analyzed, examined, understood the essence of life, life is not worth living. Now let's talk a little bit more about it. I'm just trying to pick up the thread from the previous speakers and build on what they have already deliberated on. There is a very interesting quote. It goes like this. What we take from this world is livelihood. What we give to this world is life. All in our life that we have spent so far, we have been taking and taking and taking. And that's what livelihood is all about. But what we want? We want life. But what we end up getting? Livelihood. We want to live life, but what we end up getting is livelihood. But life is about giving. So if we really want to live life, then we must give and give and give and continue to give. And when we talk about behaviors and action, I think that's where it begins, that we must give back to the world that we live in because we want life. A man came to Sri Thakur Chandra and he said, Thakur, I am looking for happiness. I am not finding it. I have gone to the Himalayas, I have gone to the sea, I have gone to the forest. I am not finding happiness. Sister Thakur said, you are not finding happiness? It's so easy. It's so simple to find happiness. He said, it is simple. It is easy to find happiness, but I have gone all over the place. I could have come to you straight if it is easy. I have traveled all across the universe to find happiness. Please tell me how to find happiness, where to find happiness. Sister Thakur said, make others happy. You will find happiness in plenty. Give peace to others. You will find peace in plenty. So it is so simple, so easy to find happiness. But all our life we are searching for that elusive happiness, and we don't find that. And we search for that elusive peace, what we don't find. So Sri Thakur Nukul Chandra in his clarion voice, he says, devotion brings wisdom. In wisdom, there is the sensing of self in creation. When there is this realization of self in creation, non-violence emerges, and from non-violence comes love. Sri Thakur Nukul Chandra, the supreme well-wisher of mankind, says that when there is the sensing of self in creation, when I believe that everybody is an extension of me, and I am an extension of everybody else, that's where, from that realization, non-violence emerges. And non-violence leads, from non-violence comes love. And that is what sustains life. We have been talking about sustainability. At the core of sustainability is love. Because it's love alone which can sustain life, which can sustain existence, there's nothing else which can really help us achieve sustainability. A bunch of people in those days, in the pre-independent India, who accepted Sri Thakur and Kulchandra as their living ideal, they used to go around different parts of country to talk about humanity, brotherhood, to spread the message of being and becoming as propounded by Sri Thakur and Kulchandra. On one occasion, a bunch of these devotees decided to go about propagating the message of Sri Thakur and Kulchandra in the eastern part of India. When they were going out, Sri Thakur and Kulchandra asked them to take with them a young man who came from a village, a pretty singer from a village. And that man looked like a villager who were wearing shabby clothes, dirty clothes. He did not look like a sophisticated, polished man. This bunch of people are not very happy because Thakur had asked them to take this man with them. But they had no choice because their master has already told them to take this young man with them. Willy-nilly, they decided to take him. After a few days, when they were moving around different parts of eastern India, they figured out that this man also had the habit of stealing things. He was a petty thief. So he was kind of taking, stealing things from the members of the group. They got furious. They got very angry. They threw him out of the group, and they continued the journey. And after about 2 or 3 weeks, they finished the mission. They came back to Sri Thakur, to the ashram. They were excited, eager to talk to Thakur about the beautiful mission they were on, how they reached to thousands of people, spreading the message of love, humanity, brotherhood to everybody. The Sri Thakur is not showing any interest to listen to them. A few days passed, but they were still eager and waiting when Sri Thakur and Kulchandra be willing to listen to them about the mission on which they had went about. One day Sri Thakur asked them, "Where is Birju?" Birju was that young man. They had thrown him out of the group. They said, "Thakur, we asked him to leave the group." Thakur said, "Why? What happened? Why did you throw him out of the group?" One of the devotees said, "Thakur, he was a petty thief. He was stealing things. So we thought we must throw him out." Thakur said, Thakur looked, his face turned pale. He was looking very, very sad. He said, "You are going all over the world, spreading the message of humanity and brotherhood. You could not adjust a single human being. You could not keep a young man with you, and you were going and spreading the message of brotherhood." This devotee said, "Thakur, but survival of the fittest. This guy was not fit enough to be in our group." Thakur became quiet. He said, "Survival of the fittest? First make the unfit fit, then only you will survive. Make the unfit fit, then only you will survive. Make the incompetent competent, then only you will survive. Make the inefficient efficient, then only you will survive. Otherwise, whether you will survive or not, there is a big question mark." So at the core of survival, at the core of sustenance is the same thing. If I really want to survive, I must make others survive. When there is a mosquito biting my forehead, my right hand goes and drives it away. The mosquito comes again, my right hand goes again. The mosquito comes again, my right hand goes again. The right hand, not even for once, asks, "Why should I do this? The mosquito is biting the forehead. Why should I bother about it? Mosquito is not biting me." The right hand never says that. It never says that because it knows that my interest lies in the interest of the forehead. If the forehead is in danger, my existence is also invented. So, because each organ of the body believes that their interest lies in fulfilling the interest of the entity of the body. That's why everybody is working in absolute harmony and cohesion to make sure that they protect the existence of the body. Similarly, if each one of, the right hand believes that the forehead is an extension of me. It is not separate from me. Exactly the same way, if you all believe that each one of us is an extension of each other, Sri Thakur calls it sensing of self in creation. Sarva bhut mein atma bhut. Realizing yourself, feeling, sensing the self in every existence, animate or inanimate, living and non-living. When that sensing of self in creation comes, sustainability becomes natural. It becomes spontaneous, because all of us want life. But what we run after is livelihood. We don't run after life. That is possible when we have a common love center in our life. If you want to build a wall, if you just keep putting one brick after other, we cannot get a wall. To get a wall, we need cement. Cement will bind the bricks together. Similarly, if human beings stay together, we cannot create a community, we cannot create a society, we cannot create a humanity, we cannot create the world. To bind all the humanity together, we need that cementing factor. That cementing factor is a common purpose, a common ideal, a common love center. And such a love center, such a personality who is the supreme well-wisher of the mankind. That personality is called the living ideal, the master, the guru, the teacher of life. If I want to learn how to swim, I must go to a swimming teacher. If I want to learn music, I must go to a music teacher. If I want to learn how to live life, I must have a life teacher. And when that life teacher becomes the common ideal, the common interest, all of us will develop interinterestedness. Like all the organs of the body have a sense of interinterestedness because they have a common interest to protect the existence of the body. Similarly, when all of us have a common interest, who becomes the cementing factor, the life teacher, the master, the living ideal, the supreme well-wisher, such a personality comes in every age. And such a personality comes as the manifestation of human perfection. He comes as the most evolved, most reformed, most transformed personality on earth. And when we accept such a person as a life teacher, as a master, as a guru, we learn the clue of living life. We learn how to live our life. Sustainability, as we began by saying, is all about life. And when we have the supreme well-wisher of humankind, accept him as the master, we learn the clue of living life. I know that we're running out of time. Just one thing I would like to say. Sister Thakur Chandra says there are 5 things that are enemies to our life: death, disease, disintegration, poverty, and ignorance. If you really want to drive sustainability, these are the 5 factors which come in the way. If we can fight a war against these 5 enemies, if we achieve victory over these 5, we can achieve life, we can achieve sustainability. Talking about one of these 5 enemies, one is disease. Sister Thakur says disease means absence of ease. Absence of ease is disease. Essentially, and he explains what is absence of ease. He says each one of us have got that vital energy which is making us mobile. We are in a state of motion because there is a life energy which is operating within us. When there is an imbalance in the life energy, vital energy, we get disease. He says if you get the balance in the life, in the vital energy, you'll be able to get rid of disease. Similarly, when the vital energy which is within us, when we integrate that vital energy with the cosmic energy, which is driving this universe, through the process of meditation, we can actually understand the true meaning and essence of living life. I know, absolutely running short of time.
Dr. Prakash, no wait, you're being very responsible in being conscious of the time. But I actually have a question for you, and I'd like to be the irresponsible host here. You talked about Sushi Thakur as the common ideal, but then if the question may arise.
Example that I was sharing, all the organs of the body has one common purpose, to keep the existence intact. But the mouth eats and the ear listens. The ear doesn't eat, the mouth doesn't listen. But they have a common interest. The common interest is to protect the existence. Similarly, if you have a common ideal, we don't have to become homogeneous, because each one of us have our unique instinct, individuality, distinctiveness. Common ideal, like Sister Thakur and Kulchandra, generally are referred to as fulfiller of instincts, because each one of us are distinct. And so Sister Thakur and Kulchandra says that if you are, before I talk about it, I remember a quote from Einstein. He says, if you judge the ability of a fish, if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, the fish will live all its life believing that it is stupid. So he says education should be based on distinctiveness. Common ideal like Sister Thakur and Kulchandra fulfills our instinctiveness. He says a jackfruit tree should bear only jackfruits, not mango. And we do not expect a mango tree to bear jackfruits. He wants a mango tree should become a better mango tree, and a jackfruit tree should become a better jackfruit tree. That's how the distinctiveness of each individual, each entity can flourish. I hope I answered.